very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show from wherever you're watching us. My name is Shem Sabato. You can also refer to me as Shemko the Big Fish. And of course, this is Real and Raw. I am with my crew as always, and I want them to introduce themselves real quick. Where do we begin from?
I think we'll start from there.
Yes, my name is Lame Kaungo. I'm here for Real and Raw every day to discuss about this. That is every Friday, where we have a conversation on matters that touching men, and of course we try to give you solutions to these issues. Though some guests or some of my panelists sometimes they come with a lot of explanation that not make sense sometimes, but we have to accommodate them. After all, we are doing Real and Raw.
Now that's exactly what we do, man. It's a conversation. Listen, so this is the thing. I let you go first because I do understand that they have to give respect to authority and things like that. But you're not going to mention that. You're not going to mention exactly. But you wouldn't notice that. You don't even notice that I'm this person. They'll literally respect you to that point to say, okay, go first.
Okay.
But anyway, my name is Brian Amwai, and yes, just like these two individuals have said, thank you once again for making time for Real and Raw here on Look Up TV. Shem.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Now let's get down to business. Now, the topic of discussion tonight, gender gap in employment. In other words, is there gender equity when it comes to granting employment opportunities? Or, if you like, do we have impartiality in this process of offering employment either to both genders? Now, the question I'm having is, gentlemen, as we begin, first of all, as we were growing up, we were told education is the key to success. The question is, are academic papers right now in this time and age important?
I wouldn't. You start. Should I
just start. Yeah.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Personally, I do believe there's been progression. We have had a different kind of mindset. Things have changed. There's a different kind of trend, and I wouldn't say academic papers are as important as they were then, because right now I do believe skills are much more important, because you find people who are doing a particular job that they never trained for, but just because they took the time to learn. They never went to school. They don't have the certificates to actually prove that I did study for this. But they took the initiative to learn on the job, to go just get some skills and, be in that environment where that action is actually taking place, and they learned one or two skills and they became perfect at it. The media is a perfect example. When you look here in the media, in the media industry, you'll find most of the time the people that go to school to study media will start complaining and say, this person never did media, this person never finished school, but this person is doing more than you could do. So I don't think academic papers right now, as you speak in this era, are important when it comes to getting a job and things like that.
But nevertheless, they are also important. But let me start by first I want to congratulate the girl child for whatever that we have seen, not only in Kenya but throughout the world. I want to also say that today this week we are celebrating women, and the tremendous steps and of course work that they have done not only in Kenya but also around the globe. We have seen women rising in the ranks and taking positions that were for far too long were known to be positions occupied by men. We are now seeing women occupying senior positions in the country, even in the military, and this is something very commendable in this country. We have seen bills being sponsored in our parliament, talking about issues or matters women, and this is also very key to the realization of equity and equality. And well, of course, we have seen in institutions and government, institutions, private and government institutions, encouraging women to apply for jobs. In fact, in most of the advertisements, at the bottom line, they write women, people with disability are encouraged to do what? To do the application. Why? Because there has been a gap, and it is good that we realize that there has been a gap especially in employment, in private, both private and government institutions. And the government and these private institutions are working to ensure that that gap is reduced, not only in Kenya, but something around the globe. There are countries, of course, that we understand, for example, in the Middle East, where women and even the women's voice has not been realized as much. Countries like Afghanistan, they are struggling, even women now, to be, to go to school. It's really unfortunate, but that is the reality on the ground, that women are not allowed to go to school. They are not, But in Kenya, East Africa, and let's talk about Kenya. Kenya, we are now leading, especially in Africa, in giving a voice to the voiceless, and especially in giving women the opportunities. Now, let me be back to...
And before you just continue, in the recent past, Lamek, research has been done, and it shows that a significant number of women are clinching these jobs in comparison to men. If you go to an interview right now with a lady, she will get the job, you will not get the job. So the question is it fair? Are our systems fair? And why?
Now, before Moy comes in, because I wanted also to bite into whether skills and certificates matter today, I wish we could have realized some times back, where if you can realize your skill or your talent, and then now education comes in to sharpen what already you know. It could have been one of the best things that you can do to your life. And few people in the society who have realized their skills or their talents when they are young, and they have gone to school sharpening the very talents that they have. I think they are maybe they could be, the people who are doing well financially, even in all aspects of life in this country, not only in this country, but globally. So I think skills are very important. But to sharpen the skills, because you cannot have the skill, then you sit on it and say that this is a skill. But you can take yourself to school to sharpen what already you know and get more experience of what you know.
I believe sharpening the skills is practical. If you do the practical part of your job, then you're sharpening your skill. I believe going to school, because most of the time going to school is reading books, is theory part. But work most of the time is practical. So sharpening the skill for me is being in that environment where the action is taking place. You want to be a news anchor? Sharpening your skill is you being on set. How many times are you doing the news? You want to be a reporter? Sharpening your skill is you being in the field. Can you do a live link? Can you package a story? Things like that.
Okay,
school is the theory part. So you may sharpen your... I believe if you want to sharpen your skill, then you need to be in the industry itself. To go to school is just to get the certificate. And in most cases, they argue. They say, having a degree just shows that you're trainable. Somebody can train you. You having a degree in mass communication and journalism doesn't mean you cannot be trained to work in the banking sector. And things like that.
And as you answer this, I'm answering. I want you also kindly.
I'll bite into whatever that you asked. This is what I'm trying to say, Amwai, and I will give examples because I have to illustrate now for us to all understand. One, for example, if someone has a talent in music, it's good for this person to also go to school to get the skills to know this is do, re, mi, fa, so. I'm talking about the theory aspect. Yes, this is a child who has a talent of music. She knows how to sing, she can play some keyboard. But it's good to take this child to know the aspects of music. And my brother is here, he can tell you he's a musician. He is talented. But much as he's talented, he can teach someone else. He can tell this person, like, this is do, this is re, this is how we call this. This is tonality. This is staccato. Yes, I may be knowing that what is this thing? I may not explain it, but he will explain to me and tell me this is allegretto and staccato, or allegro. Right? Yes. Now, also, for example, we have people in the village who knows how to do what we call traditional medicine. Or sometimes they call it, I don't know, phenomedicine, something like that, ethnomedicine. Now, these people are so talented in that they know some drugs, they know some medicine for some specific, But these skills, we need to now take these people to school, because now, today, people are taught in the university about traditional medicine so that they can understand and even apply and even how to transfer this knowledge from this person to other people who may not be there, who may be in the future. So that is the reason why education now comes in. It's good, yes, you have it. You know how to practice it. You know how to practice it. But let us now introduce the education part of it, such that these skills that you have, you can understand them better. You can now to package them better. Know the dosage. For example, if traditional medicine, mtu anaweza kupatia kibuyu mzima ya ugonjwa ya kisonono ya hiyo ya kukunywa kisonono, but hii kitu kumbe content ya the drug that was to cure the very disease ilikuwa ni content fulani kidogo ya hiyo kibuyu. So that is why education comes in. Now about
education is good.
Yeah.
And now this is what I also want to understand. Now, after education, both gender, either boy guy or the girl child, you are all educated. You have the certificate.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to employment, are the systems impartial? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Today,
is it fair? Is it fair?
When it comes to employment, today
because now
Kenya,
you realize, Lamek, the girl child thing has overshadowed the boy child. You go to an interview, Lamek, you and I know. The ladies will be taken, you will not get a job. Girls even stand a chance of having even 2 jobs when you don't have a job. So is it fair? Is the boy child not forgotten among?
Let him go first, because I love the way he's collecting himself. Yes, trying to gather his thoughts and trying to explain.
Well, of course, today, it is deliberate and intentional by institutions and government. Because all advertisement, and I did say here, and you all do applications, and you all see, you are witness, that in any advertisement, you'll always find that the right women and people with disability, and in fact, nowadays, sometimes the right people from marginalized areas are advised to apply. The government and institutions are doing that intentionally and deliberately. Why? There has been, I don't know right now, but there has been a gap of women in these institutions. There has been, fewer employees who are female in institutions, in private institutions and government institutions. And so the government deliberately, and even the county governments deliberately do that, so that to allow women to feel also to have a voice or to have a bite in these positions. So that has been the thing. But as to employment today, let's also agree that there are jobs that, the society has described them as, women related or something like that.
That's not even the case. What I'm saying is, even in these offices that we work in, a majority of people working in these offices are women. Why? Is it fair?
I'll say it's fair for me. Listen. As a child and as a boy who believes in equity and equal opportunities, it may have taken. Right now, we could be seeing a lot of women getting these jobs, and probably a lot of information starts coming in. You start having different kind of theories. But I believe it has taken quite a long time to empower the girl child to actually be able to stand up and fight for different positions. He did put it right at the beginning when he said, in the beginning we had a lot of men in these particular positions, and that's why maybe there's when you see an advert, women are encouraged to apply. And it is important, because when we say women are encouraged to apply, you're like, everybody else is encouraged. This is a position that is open for everyone else. But also, at the same time, as you consider everyone else, we are also considering to have women in this particular position, because we do not want a male-dominated kind of employees set up and things like that. So I would say, personally, I do believe it's fair. I want even it to be a more fair competition. So the boy child should continue suffering? No, the boy child is not suffering. The boy child is not just being empowered enough to fight for these positions. The boy child, to some extent, believes that he's entitled to have these positions. And that's why you'll get some jobs where the way he did, and put it in quote. Why are you putting it in quote? That society has said, women are supposed to be doing this and men are supposed to be doing this. The boy child is not suffering. The boy child has just not, we stopped empowering the boy child, you understand?
And now?
We did empower the girl child, and now that she has, sat down and realized, by the way, she deserves this, and she can actually do this. She's, they say grabbing the bulls by the horns and something like that. She's coming for these positions. But the boy child refused to go with the trend, I believe. We were stuck. We got stuck to that position where we were left because we felt entitled that these positions, these jobs, they're jobs that women are not supposed to be doing. They belong to men alone. And we did not do anything different in terms of making ourselves stand out to be able to deserve that in future.
Is that the case, really? Because I feel like there is something you guys are trying to deviate from, okay? The process of having these women in this position, first of all, is it a genuine process? Why am I saying this? There is a saying that is fondly used, okay? You'd rather do anything, okay, to make it in life. There are women, now don't get me wrong, there are women who slip themselves up to the top.
Yeah.
Okay? So, is it fair for the boy child who doesn't have anything to offer?
It's a very bad one to have this conversation, especially when you are...
Is it fair for a boy child who doesn't have anything to offer at the end of the day? So,
who said boys don't have anything to offer?
what do they have?
Now, abundance of caution. You see, Shemko does not have any statistic or any information informing whatever that you are trying to persuade us to talk about, especially when it comes to women. And your statement very clear that slipping their way up. I think the society is so clear, and we are not encouraging whatever that you are trying to portray women as people who are slipping their way up. And women in this country have gone to school. I was in the university with so many women, and they were doing well. Some even could defeat me in class. A lot of them could defeat me in class. And I'm not ashamed, because these are also human beings and we respect them. We respect women for whatever that they have done in this country and for the education that they have received. Competition is real. Let us accept that these people are very competitive. I've worked with women in my previous workplaces and even here. Women are very strong. And they are doing a lot of work, and I love what we are seeing, because we sometimes were raised in a way that we could not see the potential women until we met with the naked potential of women at workplaces and even in schools. But this is the thing. My brother, the Shemko, in most cases, and even in the statistics that have been done, and even in the exposés that have been, aired elsewhere, it is men. They are exposing how men are soliciting sex for hiring women. But we have not seen any statistic, any example that has been given where a woman is going to this senior officer, offering herself intentionally to get a position. It is men who propose. We may want to portray women as people who may have, all that you described. But in real sense, men have failed. As in terms of having high appetite for women and not controlling their when it comes to hiring.
As much as you put it that way, I think I'd like to agree with Shem to some extent that as much as, yes, we do understand that the male gender to some extent has failed, because with these exposés, just like you put it, and even what we saw with the recent expose by the BBC, Sex for Work and things like that, it's mostly women who are, on the being disadvantaged on that particular side. But some, because there's principle. You understand?
Though you cannot substantiate, but no substance at all.
There is principle. You see, you have an opportunity, because at the end of the day, nobody is taking you by force. You understand? If somebody makes advances at you and you say no, but if you end up accepting that advance, then you slept your way to the top. and something like that. You understand?
So,
just like he put it, and I'd like to disagree on the issue of boys have nothing to offer. Especially, you know, at this...
I said this to me. First of all, you need to understand.
what are you trying to say?
No, what I'm trying to say,
the particular boy child is qualified with papers. But now, alongside the papers, since somebody else is using something else,
so what do you use? Do men have something?
That is what I want to know.
Yes.
Like, what do you use then?
Men, listen, in this country,
That's what I want to know.
men offer.
What do they offer? No, you gotta be kidding me right now.
We are not going to mention names, but this was when sex for work actually came out.
Okay.
And boys were, you know, opening up, but behind the scenes, nobody wants to be exposed like that. They say, you see, there's this organization that for you to get in, there's something you have to give. You understand? So, depends with the kind of boss that is hiring you. They can look at you, Lamek, and see that there is something you can offer.
But also, don't you think these opportunities are not even advertised to the boy child? They're just reserved for those who can offer what they can offer.
You are trying to talk about the disgusting issue of LGBTQ, which of course we are opposing. We are opposing.
We are not going to go there.
Even this is opposing that.
We are not going to go there
vehemently. But this is the thing. Now, let me tell you something, because I have to speak this one out. There is what we call work ethics. Work ethics requires, and in fact, if you go to labor courts and say, you know, you are a boss and you kind of talk to your junior, and at the end of it all, you had sex if she's a female. And then you go to labor courts, the work ethics are there. That you say, after all, this lady accepted. I mean, it was. Look at this. Look at this. Let me finish.
I know there's a 70% where we are the perpetrators.
Let me finish.
But there's also 30%. You do not disregard that 30% of women.
I have my time. You cannot convince the judge of labor court that you are the senior officer. And you say that after all, this girl accepted, and she's mature, she's above 18, and she accepted. No. You'll be seen as someone who solicited for sex. Why? Because on the account of the position that you are serving in that institution, this lady may accept on that account. It is seen like that. On the account like you are his senior. After all, she's under you. So you took advantage of your office. Inaitwa ile kuchafua ofisi yako. So as much as we may want to say like, oh, she's mature, it's her right and all that, but since you are a senior officer, what ethics requires, and I will tell you for a fact, because I'm trying to caution you, because in the future you will be
hold this there. We're just taking kindly, let us just take this break. We're coming back. I'll give you time. We're coming back. We are coming back. Yeah, we are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the show on air is Real and Raw. Now, gentlemen, before we took that break, there was a heated debate, and I understand Amoy wanted to respond. Yes.
To engage this, Lamek, because I wanted Lamek to understand that it cuts across the board. Because one, from where you sit, you're trying to paint the man as this, you know, very unethical human being, and you are part of us. You understand? And I said, we may be 60% or maybe 70, maybe because of whatever we've seen on screen or being exposed and things like that, of the people that are always the perpetrators. But this remaining 40% also has to go to someone. And we cannot dispute the fact that we also have women in different positions.
Right.
And we've had cases. This I'm going to say because I'm somebody in the media and I get to interact with different kind of people, different kind of stories and things like that, where boys have actually been taken advantage of, you understand? To get to different positions. You understand? Somebody, just like you said, the labor and that quote, actually what it looks at is as a person who is in this particular office, your ethics and all that. Let it also be understood that even when there are women in different positions who are holding positions of power, there is a possibility, this 40% that is remaining, that is never talked about, because in most cases it will always be looked at as a boy is the one that is making advances. Right. This is the thing. If you find me with a mumama today, chances are you are going to assume I'm the one that made the move. But maybe I did not. Yeah. Maybe she promised to furnish my life and give me a job and things like that. And since I am in a desperate position to get that, she's not looking at the possibility of me doing the job because I'm qualified. But what is she getting for me? So she could do that to me and tell me, okay, I'm going to give you a car and I'll give you a job here and put you in Lavington, which it's debatable. I could. But listen, but that's not the case. So what I'm trying to say is, when you are putting across your point, also acknowledge that we have women in power that could just as well take advantage of the boy child in these positions when we are seeking jobs and things like that.
Well, as you answer, why do we have many women holding jobs than men? Continue.
You see, it's unfortunate that we are raising a society, and I don't know which kind of a society we are talking about, a society that is so lazy, so immoral, and so I don't know how to describe it, because that's unfortunate.
No. I know where you want to come.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, nobody's saying is.
Why? Because
Lamo, I'm sorry to cut you short.
Yes.
But you're not going to put play the immoral card in this particular issue.
Yes.
You understand? You understand the kind of situation that this country is in terms of matters economy. People are working hard. Boys out here are breaking their backs to make things work. And at times it just doesn't work. You understand? Somebody wants just to get into the door, but they have to give something to get into that door. You understand? Especially if, just like we're putting it, the way you had put it on how men in positions are taking advantage is the same way I want you to understand that women in position could as well take advantage of a young man looking for jobs. And this is not matters immoral. Just like we said.
What is it? What is it?
No. Somebody is trying to make ends meet. So I should die because somebody wants me to sleep with them for them to give me a job. I'm looking at the long term.
That's morality. Morality is how you behave, even in darkness.
What makes you think? What makes you think I am lazy?
Morality is when how you behave even when someone is not around.
So
now look at this. Look at this. You know, I had not answered. I had not even talked. I had even started, and then this person, am I guessed my direction. But this is the reality on the ground, and it's unfortunate that, you know, the society for far too long has been shaping men as leaders, men who will stand firm amid this turbulence and struggle to come out and, you know, amid these challenges, stand firm. Unfortunately, and this I must say, that this is a philosophy that has not only been perpetuated by Mwai, but has been bought and accepted by by this new society that we are now witnessing today. A society of young men who are so lazy, who are, just as Mwai described them, who are breaking their back to satisfy women.
No. Breaking their back to make things work.
As you continue,
you are working from morning to evening trying to get a job so that you put food on the table. And things are not working.
And Mwai is describing this with a lot of enthusiasm. And
even as you respond, Labek, even as you respond, also make me understand that young lady or that lady who, despite everything, has decided, liwe liwalo, I have to make it, whatever the cost. There is nothing like taking advantage in such a scenario. It is consensual. You have made your mind up. Okay? So where does immorality come in?
But this is the reality. Look at this. I'm not trying to deny that fact, because you see, you cannot say that all people are sober or women are sober. There could be few. who are doing that. But there is no statistics, no information, only that we are relying on mere hearsay. And it's unfortunate that you, as the host of this show, you are encouraging street talks that have no substance at all. This is what I believe in.
And I tell you,
this is what I believe in. Please, this is what I believe in. This is what I believe in. I believe that a woman... No. I believe that women of this country are educated. So I've got the skills and I've got what it takes to take these positions. Okay. So any misconception that may be there that this is the door that women are using is just wrong, and it should be and should be revoked and rejected in the very manner it comes.
Just remember that in this show we say
just the same way.
Yes,
listen, just the same way women are educated and deserve to get these positions. It is the same way that boys go to school, because people go to school together. It's not that women go to school alone or boys go to school alone.
You cannot welcome me to this show because I'm a man who is married and I have a daughter. To come and taint women.
I am not tainting the image of women. I am just saying that as much as you want to taint the image of a man, you should also take responsibility for the girl child, because that's what you're standing with. That they are not saints. They also make mistakes. And they could as well be perpetrators in these issues.
I want to question you, Amwai, that in the near future, because I know you are a very good young man and you may want to seek for these positions, higher positions, and even to be a president of this country, that this show will haunt you in the near future. You have to apologize to the woman of this country.
No. I didn't say anything.
Why? Because Amwai, what you are trying to...
I didn't say anything about the woman. I just say...
No, Amwai, I'm sorry, but you have to apologize. You have to apologize, Amwai. Because you cannot taint women of this country as people who can slip their way up.
Where you are a man?
Yes, I'm a man.
And you've painted the men as the worst creature that ever walked in the face of the earth.
No, because I know your potential.
So when you are an editor on the desk, do you sleep with people for them to edit your skills?
No. I know you the potential that is in men.
Then why would you?
And that's why the government, and I did say the private sector is deliberately encouraging women to fill the gap, because men are taking everything, and you guys are so jealous and so selfish not to allow women to also occupy this position. And this is unfortunate that sin of selfishness
what
is
I want you to acknowledge. No, listen. What I want you to acknowledge.
Your heart, bro.
What I want you to acknowledge is that there is shared responsibility on this issue. There is no one gender.
Shake your head.
No. There is no one gender that is driving this country or the world. No. There is no one gender. There is no one gender that is driving this world to the dogs or to hell, whichever. You understand? It is shared responsibility. And just like you were saying, men too are qualified to hold different positions.
Yes.
But at this particular time, we'll come back to the point where we stopped empowering the boy child, so that this and that's why we are seeing this happen. But boys too have they have the papers. They are very qualified to hold these positions. But they are also subjected to some uncouth kind of actions that they have to take in order to get there. And these people that subject them to this particular